Hey, folks. I'm Camille Who Armstrong, the performing arts renaissance woman. For over 40 years, I've worked as a performer, educator, consultant, and coach. But most importantly, I'm a parent. From classrooms to stages to bedtime routines, I've spent my life nurturing creativity, character, and connection in the next generation. This series is for you, whether you're expecting, learning as you go, or parenting for the first time, or even third time around. I'm here to share the insights, tools, and real talk I've gathered over 4 decades of hands on experience. Welcome to Camille Who, the Child Whisperer. I'm so glad you're here. What if your job is not to always make your child happy, but to teach them how to move through frustration, rough times, hard times, and create their own happiness? That's what this video is about. Listen, I know that when we first have children, they completely, entirely depend on us. We are their everything. They depend on us for feeding, for soothing, for changing, for comforting, for helping them sleep. They depend on us for every single thing. Like, we basically are their happy makers. We're the ones that make them happy. And their only tool for communication is crying, right? And so we tend to be keen to, oh, my child is crying. Let's see what they need. Let's make sure everything's okay. Let's make sure they are okay. The thing is, what we forget to do and this has to happen throughout our child's full on, I mean, it just has to happen throughout our child's just childhood and throughout our parenting. And I think I've mentioned this before, is that as parents, we have to constantly be reevaluating, where is my child right now? What season are we in? What season am I in? How can I serve my child? How can I teach my child to serve? How can I help my child become the person that they are becoming, that they are meant to become, without imposing my fears, my anxieties, my ideals, but still instill values in my child? Like, there's a lot to think about, and we have to constantly reevaluate because they are changing. They're coming in and out of phases. They're coming in and out of cycles. They're now going from age group to age group, and they just need different things, or they need it in different ways. So, that being said, some of us unintentionally, some of us, I would say all of us, because I've done the same thing. We unintentionally continue to rush in and make our child happy, but then we forget that we're here to sort of be guardrails, right? Teach them how to follow rules so that they can be protected and be safe, and to we have to teach them what's wrong and what's right, and how to even listen to that voice inside, because we all have the voice inside. How to listen to that voice inside, how to validate their feelings, how to listen to those feelings and say, okay, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I need. These are things that we need to teach our children. And we can't really teach them that if we run in and A, fix their problems for them, or B, distract them from their problems. Now, I've experienced parents, and I've done this. Look, I've experienced parents, I've seen parents do this, and I've done this myself, where child drops something, whew, I run in and I grab it and I get it for them. But it's not teaching them to fix their own problem. And that's just a small scale problem, right? Their toy dropped, right? Like, they can bend, if they can bend down and get the toy, they can, I don't have to sweep in and do that. But that's one of those things that unintentionally have done, because I'm so used to just And it makes me feel like my identity also. It's like, yeah, man, I did it, right? Like I handled this day. I rocked it, right? Like I made sure my kid was okay. My child was okay. Um so there's that little bit of pride aspect in it, and like the prideful aspect, not the kind of I'm proud of myself, but like, yeah, I'm my child's everything. And we get kind of caught in that, and we get kind of addicted to that feeling, but it's we're doing a disservice to our children. um so there's something we have to do as parents. We have to train ourselves in every new phase, in every new stage, in every new age group. We have to train ourselves for the next thing that's happening, and in order to be 2 steps ahead of what's happening. Nowadays you can look up Google age 3 and the things to look out for. And then once you see that they're moving into age 3, then you can now say, all right, well, if this is what they're doing, then this is what I need to do. And this is how I need to train myself to not do something or to do something else. What happens is now, like we get used to, as parents, we get used to reducing the frustration. We get used to fixing every problem. We get used to distracting them from every uncomfortable emotion. But the thing about distracting is we're not teaching our children to actually live in that emotion, live in the moment where they are feeling these feels. And so we talk to them, like, give that emotion a name, so they become emotionally intelligent. They get to know, and they see it attached to the moment that's happened, right? We tend to go, hey, I'm going to make you happy, going to make you happy, going to make you happy. But like now we're teaching children to ignore the anger, ignore the frustration, and just be happy, which is dangerous because then they only have 2 emotions or 3 emotions: sadness, anger, and happy. But there's nothing in between, and that's not realistic. And then it puts a lot of pressure on us as parents to have to make our child happy every time. That's not realistic. So and then we're doing this song and dance, but then our child then not like depends on us to be happy every time. And then just becomes emotionally not intelligent, and they don't know how to pick up on their own signals and say, oh wait, this is one of those times where I feel like really angry, let me just go in my room and scream into a pillow, whatever, like get the frustration out, or go jump on a bed, or go run and like slide on the floor, like things like that, that kind of like, I can make my own happiness. I can move out of this. I can move through it and then move out of this feeling. Over time, like when as our child moves out of infancy into like the sitting and the crawling phases of their life, they can start to get something that they want. They can start to, in fact, I mean, they can start to get frustrated because they want to get something and they see it and they know their body can do something, but their body can't do all the things that they really want it to do so they can get that thing. So they're going to get frustrated. Frustrated is not necessarily the thing to run in and save the day for. Frustrated is just they're going to cry, they're going to make sounds, they're going to make noises, they're probably going to scream, like, but this is one of those things where you learn your children's cries and know that it's not an emergency. Know that, oh, they just want to get that thing but they can't, and that's okay. Like, you don't necessarily have to get the thing, not if there's 5 or 6 other toys around them. In fact, I really want to do an experiment, but because I see this all the time with children, I want to do an experiment where I put 4 colorful toys around, say, a toddler, okay? Or like a sitter and a crawler, right? And then put like a bag of potato chips, a water bottle, and a cable, okay? Like, sprinkle these things around their play area and see what they go for. they are they're like more than likely going to go for the thing that is not colorful, that is not meant for them, that is not safe, right? Like a bag of potato chips that has like sharp corners, and but it's like it's a thing. Like, what is that? And it makes all that sound, right? Or like they don't know that it's gonna pop open and chips are gonna fall out. They don't know that a cable is electric, not to go for that thing. But for some reason, right, we as humans, we just directly go for that thing that is not necessarily safe. So that's one of those frustrations that a crawler would feel, because they're like, ah, I want that cable. And every time you move them from the cable, they scream, they cry. Well, life ain't fair. Like, I'm here to keep you safe. And my dear, going for an electric cable is not you safe. Okay. But that's the one thing you're going for when you have five toys around you, all around you, that you could go and reach for. Okay. So those are like just those kinds of cries. Like, you don't have to tend to those cries. They're just like, go ahead, be frustrated. I get it. I get it. There's things that I want that I can't get. There's things that I want that are no good for me to get. They're not going to keep me safe. They're actually very dangerous for me. And yeah, sometimes I want to cry about it. Sometimes I want to stamp my feet. Sometimes I want to just be like, "Meh," but at the end of the day, if I stay away from it, it's going to keep me safe. It's going to keep me alive, right? And children don't naturally know how to protect themselves from those things. So we have to make sure those things are away from our children, right? So going into those stages, we really are a guide. We really are a guide. We're teaching our children right from wrong. We're teaching our children what they can play with and what they can't play with. And like we're changing the diapers, yes, and we're teaching them how to feed themselves, and eventually they learn how to feed themselves on their own. We're teaching them how to we're teaching them different life skills, but that means that we have to allow them to mess up a little bit, or we have to allow them to cry a little bit, or allow them to scream and get frustrated a little bit. Those things, there's a time and a place. Those things we teach our children, and we allow our children, because we are the guides, right? We're like guardrails. Okay, we have to like kind of be like, oh, yoo-hoo, yeah, I know this is what you naturally want to go to, but I need to bring you here. Okay. Child cries, I know, honey, but I'm not gonna sweep in and pick you up and like hush you or hold you now and walk around with you because you're just crying because of frustration. Like, that's not what we want to do. Don't want to we don't want to be the happy maker for our children. I'm saying all of that to say we want to avoid, right? After a certain stage, we want to avoid being the happy maker all of the time. Another danger of being the happy maker all the time is that children learn that, or we're training our children, if we rush in and make them happy every time, is they think that now everything has to stop immediately. Like, if I'm angry or frustrated about something, you make me happy, I'm instantly happy again. That means this frustration or this anger, like, it's cut off and we're done with it. But that's not always the case, right? Moving through emotion, moving through rough times is not always instant, right? And we live in this instant world of you press a button and that opens up, right? But honestly, like, really, in reality, we have to move through the emotion, walk it. We have to walk it. We have to walk that walk until we walk out of it. We have to name the thing. We have to name what's happening. We have to name what our feelings are. We have to name what the problem is, how we got there, what we're going to do differently, what we're going, how, what are we, and feel all the feels. Feel all the feels. As parents, if we're trying to rush in and make them happy, we don't allow them to feel all the feels. And that's important. That creates resilience. That creates emotional intelligence. Not only that, our children expect other people to solve their problems, to solve their issues. This is what we're training. We program our children in that way. Because of that, we program our children to think that someone else is going to take care of their stuff. Then meltdowns happen. And it's like, they get frustrated because they can't deal with what they're feeling right now. Where's the person that makes me happy every time, right? You see where this is going. You see how this can happen and carry over to our middle school life, into our our high school life, and our adult life. So I know it's hard. I know it's difficult, but we can be trained as parents because we're constantly learning still. We're constantly growing as humans. We're letting go of things that we brought into our, as far as life experience, our parenting blueprint, all of that we're bringing into this experience of raising this brand new child. We're going to learn to let go of some things that we brought into the room. Um, and being a part of their journey and meeting them where they're at and helping them move through things as opposed to being the solver. That's helping us to learn more. That's helping us to learn to look at life through their lens, and it's also helping us to let go of some things that we held on to that we don't even realize until we get to that moment. We're like, oh my God, this is still a problem for me. This is still an issue. I'm still feeling these feelings that I never quite dealt with. I thought I dealt with it. I guess I just hid those or survived on top of them, swept them under a rug and just dealt with it. Okay. And just was happy. Right? Not reality, like not a healthy reality here. A child drops their toy, you rush in. I got it. Right? So I told you I've done this myself, right? Or let me fix it, and then we fix it. But the child doesn't even learn to doesn't I haven't even given the child, I haven't given my child the moment to get frustrated, to identify why they're frustrated, and to communicate it and to solve the problem. You see how many things that we take away from our child when we sweep in, when we swoop in to save the day? All those life skills, they just don't get a chance to even develop. Ooh, a really good way to deal with, to help with, say your child just dropped a toy, or your child is trying to fix a part on their toy. The part falls off, they're trying to fix it, they can't fix it. Now, a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, 2-year-old even, who can talk now, can say, okay, good. That's like humanly what we would do, right? As cavemen, as animals, this is what we would do. Our bodies are just like, want to be like that. What we have to teach our children is how to communicate that. So instead of rushing in and saying, oh, I see what your problem is, let me take, yes, that's great and all. But what we want to teach our child is how to just identify it, communicate it, right? Figure out what the problem is, know how to solve it, and know if they need help or not, right? So that's really it's like taking them through that series of questions, of thoughts. The child drops a toy or something breaks off. We say, they get frustrated. You say, what happened? Right? Instead of going, why are you crying? Sometimes a 2-year-old doesn't know why. Like they don't know how to explain why or make the connection of what's going on with a why. But if you say what happened, they can tell you what happened. The idea is to get them to speak on it, right? So this is us expressing ourselves in a verbal way, communicating to someone instead of like losing it and having a meltdown moment. And it just like, because that's not going to help. Because I say that all the time. Is that helping? Right? Like if you're going to just lose it, is that helping you fix your problem? It's not, right? Tell me what happened and get your child to speak. What happened? My toy fell. Oh, so then what do you have to do? Your toy fell. You can even say, oh man, on, it fell, or oh man, it broke off, or it broke, or whatever it is, you now ask, what do you have to do? They can now think about what they have to do, and they actually know what they have to do, but like in their frenzy they don't know to think rationally, right? We know that as adults. Like, if you're frustrated, you don't think straight. If you're angry, you don't think straight, right? But we're taking them through that series so they can learn a skill that we're probably still learning as adults. Hello. So we take them through that series. So what do you have to do? Chances are they know what to do. This is teaching them problem solving. I have to put it back on. Do you need help? Yes. Well, then say, and you're teaching them to say this in that moment. And if you do it enough times, they know the whole process and they will do it themselves. Then say, I need help, please. That's it. I need help, please. Oh, you need help. Okay, I'll help you. That's the time to come in and help. In fact, you come in to take them through that series of questions and answers and sentences, and right, and you take them through that series so that they can get to the point step by step. They feel the feels. They identify why they're feeling the feels, right? They identify that it was the thing that happened that is attached to why they're feeling the feels. Okay, but they also identify that, wait, they learn that there's a solution. They learn to problem solve. If they can't do it themselves, they then learn to ask for help. How many of us adults don't do that? We teach our children that now. They are 59 steps ahead of us. We are then creating a future of aware, emotionally intelligent, resilient humans that are more so than the generation before. To recap, step one, allow the feelings to exist. Do not try to run in and make them happy. This is like, listen, we're talking about before they even start talking is something that you want to train yourself to do. Before they're even 1 year old, before they start, I mean, at the point where they're crawling and they're grabbing things or they're picking things up, like that kind of, like, we want to just start training ourselves to say, okay, no, they can't get the thing, so they're frustrated. Totally understandable. Doesn't mean that we're gonna, okay, okay. No, no, no. Let them feel frustrated. It's okay. And if they cry about it, it's not the kind of I'm starving cry. It's not the I need to sleep, there's poop in my diaper cry. Trust me, right? This is where you start to identify as a parent what kind of cries are what. Step two, you want to validate the feelings without fixing it. Say things like, "Oh, I see. Oh, baby, you seem really sad, or you seem frustrated. What happened?" The same series. What happened? Let them talk about it. But you've now put the feeling. You've given them the name for the feeling as well. That's also validating. You've validated, you see that they're going through it, you say that they're going through it, and you give the name to the feeling. But you don't fix it. You want to move them through it. You want to help them move through it. What you don't want to do is make jokes or, hey, see, you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to do that. No, 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 because now we're escaping them feeling the feels. And they need to feel the feels in order to know what signals tell them what. I'm feeling angry. I need to pay attention to this signal. I'm feeling scared. I need to pay attention to this signal. What am I scared of? Oh, I'm afraid of falling. Okay, well then I'll hold on to the railing, right? These are like signals. So we want our child to be able to identify these emotions so that they can trust their signals. Step three, help them to assess the problem, right? What happened? They can tell you what happened, and don't just go, oh, you don't answer the question for them. Don't answer the question for them. Allow them to speak it. Talk to me. I asked you a question. Talk to me, honey, right? What happened? Let them assess the problem because now they're learning to assess. Now they're learning to communicate after they've assessed, right? So help them assess it by saying what happened and then say, what do you do? What do you have to do? They're now assessing. They know what, and most times they know what they need to do. And like, but that's the idea is to get them to think about the problem, assess what they have to do, and verbalize it and communicate it. Communication, it's like the highest form. I mean, it's like a spiritual quality that we have is the ability to communicate. You can even say, can you ask for help? You can say, then you say, can you help me, please? And then they'll ask for help. Step 4, celebrate the fact that they have figured it out, right? Like, see, you did it. We did it. High five for teamwork, right? If they needed help, high five for teamwork. Or if they figured it out, but you just had to walk them through it. If they figured it out, then they're like, yay, yeah, I figured it out. They didn't know to go through that series without you having to without you guiding them, right? As parents, we are guides. We're guides. We don't do everything for our children after a while. And the idea is to get to raise children who are competent to take care of themselves and to function in the real world without us being there. And I know parents want to hold on to their children and their infants forever and carry them around and hold their bottles still when they can walk around now at this point. Like listen, you don't even understand. I'm going to tell you now. That's a danger. And you're teaching your child to be a child in an adult body and they can't solve their own problems. And they can't be emotionally intelligent and now they become adults who are like wreaking havoc in the workforce, in the marketplace. Come on now. The idea is not to remove the discomfort by fixing the problem or making our child happy. The idea is to teach children to be competent, to be emotionally regulated. We can't expect our child to be emotionally regulated without us taking them through a series of questions, of steps in their brains so that they can go, wait, this is what this is. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to figure out the problem. And if I need help with this problem, with this solution, I'm going to ask for help. Just saying. I'm Camille Who, the Child Whisperer, and I am out of here. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Camille Who, the Child Whisperer. A heartfelt thank you to the generous supporters of the Books and Beyond campaign. This series wouldn't be possible without you. If you're a new or expecting parent, I created Better Parent, Better Future just for you. I empower first-time parents to embrace a positive mindset and navigate those early parenting years with confidence and joy. Click the link in the description to learn more or to find out how we can work together. Until next time, keep showing up, keep growing, and keep leading with love.